Hi everyone, it's Alicia and I'm here for your chair yoga class today. You will need a sturdy chair, preferably without arms, and a non-slip place to put it. So a yoga mat is a great thing to have underneath your chair. If anything in the practice doesn't work for you, remember to take care of yourself, so feel free to leave out any of the exercises that seem like they might not fit well for you. So we'll begin by sitting in our chair. You can lean back into the back of the chair. Hands can be placed on your lap. Relaxing for a few moments, you can close your eyes. And take a few deeper breaths. And over the course of the next few breaths, noticing the quality of your breath, whether it's fast or slow, whether it is deep or shallow. Maybe you can detect a temperature. And just noticing these qualities about your breath for the next few cycles. We'll bring our hands together and rub the hands quickly and get some heat moving and some energy moving, and give a good solid rub to your hands. And then shake the hands out. Like if you've got some water and you're trying to get that water off of your hands, give them a shake. And then we'll rub the hands again, get them nice and warm. And this time we're going to cup them over our eyes. So even with glasses, you can just cup the hands over the glasses, over your eyes, and take a slow, deep breath in and out. And then we're going to let the hands go down the sides of the face, the sides of the neck, cross across your body, go down your arms, down the sides of your rib cage, down your legs, and then brush off the bottom of the legs, shake the hands again. And then we'll come to sit a little forward in the chair so that we're now using our own strength to sit up nice and tall. Again, you could close your eyes for a moment and just start to feel into your body. Notice how it feels to sit, how it feels to sit upright, how it feels to lengthen the spine. And notice how it feels to mindfully take a deep breath. And still sitting tall, we'll lean the right ear over towards the right shoulder. And then take a slow, deep breath here. Slowly roll your head forward. Chin comes down towards the chest, and we end up with the left ear over towards the left shoulder. And taking a couple of breaths here. Roll your head forward again, ending up with the right ear over towards the right shoulder. And then again, rolling the head forward and ending up with the left ear over towards the left shoulder. Breath or two here. Roll your head forward, let the chin stay down towards the chest. Take a long, slow breath in and blowing it out of your mouth. Slowly lift your head back up And we'll bring the shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back and down. And again, shoulders climbing up towards the ears and rolling back and down. And we'll complete that for a few more cycles, rolling the shoulders back and behind us. Very good. And now the arms come out to the sides. We'll breathe in and reach the arms up. Breathe out and let your arms come back down. We'll continue to move this way, and if one breath will do it, one breath in takes the arms up, and another breath out takes the arms down. But if one breath won't quite do it, feel free to take 2 breaths on the way up and 2 breaths on the way down. A couple more times, lifting the arms. Still sitting tall into your spine. And now we're going to bring the arms forward and up. And exhale to come down, and the arms can go slightly behind us. And then we inhale and arms go back up. Exhale, arms come down. And continuing with this pattern for a few more repetitions, arms going up and coming back down. Another time or 2. And this last time, arms reach up and come back down. Hands rest on the thighs. We'll pause for a moment, taking a slow, deep breath in and a long breath out. From here, we'll have a couple of choices. So one choice is that the legs extend, right ankle crosses over left ankle. Another choice is that you cross your right thigh over your left thigh. So whichever of those choices works best for the legs, we're still forward in the chair. We're going to twist to the right. So the left arm comes across to some part of the right leg. Right arm can come behind you. It can drape across the back of the chair. Or you could sneak that arm to the inside of the back of the chair to hold on to the chair seat. But finding a place to hold on to that will feel best to your shoulder and to your torso in this twist. We're lengthening the spine and we're slowly turning a little bit to the right. You don't have to go very far. We won't force it. A couple of breaths here. And then we'll slowly come back to center, uncross the legs, pause for a moment between sides. And then again, you might extend your legs, cross the left ankle over the right ankle, or if it works to cross the left thigh over the right thigh, you may do that. Now we're turning to the left. The right arm comes across. The left arm comes behind. It could just drape across the back of the chair. It could come to the inside of the back of the chair to hold on to the chair seat. You could hold on to the side of the chair. Whatever feels best for you to have a few breaths in this twist. And again, not forcing anything. Taking some slow, deep breaths. And then we'll unwind back to center, uncross the legs, feet flat on the floor, pause a moment here. And then leaning forward, forearms could come onto the thighs. And if that feels okay, you could let the torso come further forward, arms hang between the legs, or arms can hang to the outsides of the legs. Whatever feels best to you. If that more forward fold is stretching too much, bring your forearms back up to your thighs. Wherever you are, we'll take a couple more breaths. Forearms come back up to the thighs if they're not already there. And then we'll press the hands into the thighs using the arm strength to bring us back up. Arms go out to the sides and up, reach up. And then exhale, arms come down. A couple more times. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, coming down. And then one more time, arms going up. And coming back down. Hands rest on the thighs. We'll pause for a moment here. You could close your eyes or bring your eyes up a little higher than eye level, just to look up slightly. And take another breath or two. From here, we're going to help the right leg out to the right. Make sure that you feel like you're solidly sitting on the chair. The right leg goes out to the right, foot flat on the floor, toes point out to the right. The left leg is going to extend. It could extend at a diagonal, could extend more in front of you, whichever works best for you. And again, making sure that you feel solidly supported by the chair seat. We're going to take the arms out to a wide T shape. This is our first variation of Warrior 2, and we'll have another variation when we stand up, but remember that we've got this seated variation that we could use as well. From here, a long spine, and we can turn to look out over the fingertips of the right hand. You can press into your feet a little bit to strengthen the muscles of your legs, and take a few slow breaths. And then we're going to lean over to the right. So the right hand could come to the right thigh. We'll bring the left hand to the left hip for the moment. Could be right hand on the thigh. It could be right forearm on the thigh. Leaning over to the extent that feels fine for your body. We're still long through our spine. And then we're going to take that left arm up and over the left ear. And this is our seated variation of side angle pose. And again, we'll revisit this standing, but we've got this option for seated anytime we need it. We're reaching long through the left arm. Head could be turning in whatever direction works best for your neck. You could even let the head lean over so that the right ear leans towards the right shoulder. We'll take another couple of breaths here. We'll come back up. We'll make the wide T arms of Warrior 2 for a breath. And then lower the arms. We're going to help the left leg to come in, help the right leg to come back so that we can face forward in the chair. Pause for a moment here. And in between sides, we'll move through the spine. So as we inhale, pelvis rolls forward. Spine arches, heart lifts up, maybe the head lifts up a little bit. And then we'll roll the pelvis back, round the spine, tuck the chin. And moving like that from the pelvis, pelvis rolls forward, spine arches, chin lifts. And then pelvis rolls back, spine rounds, chin tucks. One more of each of those, rolling your pelvis forward, arching your spine, lifting your chin, and then rolling your pelvis back, rounding your spine and tucking your chin. Coming back to neutral and pausing for a moment here. You can lift your gaze slightly, look up and across the room. And now we'll try those two poses on the other side. Left leg comes out to the left. You can reposition yourself on the chair. Make sure that it still feels stable. Left foot pointed out to the left. Right leg can extend forward or maybe at a slight diagonal. You can find a good spot, but we'll have both feet flat on the floor. From here, the torso turns forward and arms come out to a wide T shape. Couple of breaths here. Can press down into your feet, find the support there. And then we'll turn to look over the left fingertips. Couple of slow, deep breaths. And anytime you need to reposition yourself on your chair, don't be afraid to reposition. We may not have landed in exactly the right spot. Another breath or two. And for the moment, we'll bring the right hand to the right hip. Left hand comes to the left thigh and we lean over to the left. Could be the hand stays here. Could be that you're able to lean and place the forearm on the thigh. Lengthen your spine still. We've just leaned it over to the side. And then we'll take the right arm up and over the ear. Palm faces down towards the floor. We'll stretch long through the whole right side. Head could be in whatever trajectory works best. You could even lean the left ear over towards the left shoulder if that felt okay for the neck. And we'll take another few breaths here. This is our seated extended angle pose. And then the top arm comes back over, torso comes back up. Palms face towards the floor as we stretch the arms in the wide T shape for one more breath. This is our seated warrior 2. And then we'll bring the arms down, help the right leg back to where it started, help the left leg back to where it started, and turn to sit forward in your chair. Feet flat on the floor, hands can rest on the legs. We'll again lift the gaze. Eyes could still be closed, but lifting the face slightly and taking another couple of breaths. We're going to slide forward. Forearms can come to the thighs. Take a deep breath here. And if you choose, torso leans a little more forward. Arms can come to the insides of the legs or to the outsides of the legs. And head could hang a bit if that feels okay for your neck. Again, taking only the options that work best for your body. Taking good care of yourself during the practice. Forearms come back to the thighs if they're not already, and we'll pause here. And then hands press into the thighs. We use some strength from the arms to come up. Arms go out to the sides and reach up. And exhaling, arms come down. From here, we're going to lift the right leg. You can hold on underneath the thigh. You could hold on to the front of the shin. But let that leg lift up. We're going to keep a tall spine as we do this. And then we're going to make some circles with the right foot. So moving around in one direction a few times. And then other direction for a few times. And then we'll put the right leg down. Arms go out to the sides and up. Reach up. Inhale. Exhale, arms come down. And we'll pick up the left leg. Finding a good place to hold on, sitting tall into your spine, and then moving the left foot around a few times in one direction, and then a few times around in the other direction. And then putting the left leg down. Hands onto the thighs, eyes could close for a moment, face could be slightly lifted, feeling like you're in neutral, and taking a few breaths. We're going to come up to stand now. So take your time and slowly stand up. We're going to move the chair so that the chair seat faces away from you and is at one end of the mat so that we have some space behind us. We'll stand tall in mountain pose. Fingertips could rest on the chair. Arms could be at your sides. Eyes could stay open. Gaze could lift slightly. Let your belly soften so that the breath can be easily moving in the torso and abdomen. And from here, placing the hands onto the back of the chair so that we have it for support. We're going to lift and lower the heels. So it's helpful to find a spot out in front of you where you can focus your eyes. And then as we inhale, we're going to lift the heels up. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly lower the heels down. And we'll continue to do that. And maybe the first few are kind of wobbly. Maybe they get a little smoother. Or maybe they start out smooth and they get a little wobbly. But either way, we're working some of the muscles in the backs of the legs and even all the way up to the hips. Continue to slowly lift. That could be an inhale. And slowly lower. That could be an exhale. A couple more times just like this. This next time we lift the heels, we're going to stay with the heels lifted for a few breaths. So maybe you don't lift them quite as high, or maybe you challenge yourself by lifting the heels a little higher. It's up to you. A few breaths here, letting the face and jaw stay soft. Maybe we test the balance by letting the hands off the back of the chair and putting them back on. Maybe it's one hand at a time. Another breath here. And then we'll slowly lower the heels, bend your knees, hands onto the back of the chair, and take a couple of steps back with both feet, leaning the hips back behind you, stretching the arms forward. This is our downward facing dog. We'll take a couple of breaths here. And there are a couple of options for you. You could stay just where you are. You could see about bringing hands down to the chair seat and still stretching back long into the spine and into the hips. If your chair has a rung at the bottom, you could also see about bringing hands down onto that rung. But if that doesn't feel quite right, hands carefully climb back up to the place that does feel right. One more breath. Hands slowly come back up to the back of the chair. Bend your knees. Step forward. Hands rest on the back of the chair. Feet line up. And we'll return to mountain pose for a few breaths. Arms could be at your side whenever you feel like you have enough balance, or if you feel steady and stable. From here, I'm going to put my hands firmly onto the back of the chair, bend my knees a little bit, and take a pretty big step back with my right foot. Both hands stay on the chair for a moment, and the right toes turn in slightly. The left toes stay pointed towards the chair. From here, I can lift up through my spine, lift up through my chest, and bend my left knee. From here, I'm going to open my right arm out to a half T shape. So this is warrior two. And remember, we had a seated version of this, so if coming back down to sit is a best option for you, please feel free to take that. You might move your left toes a little more forward towards the chair. Have a bend in your left knee that feels comfortable. And if everything is feeling strong and steady and stable, you could see about lifting the left arm into a T shape. And then we return to look out over the fingertips of our left hand. Couple of deep breaths. And bring your left hand back firmly onto the chair. Right hand is going to come to the right hip. And now we'll see about that extended side angle pose. So leaning to the left hand could stay on the chair, right? Good solid support there. If everything is feeling great for you today, your left hand could come to your left thigh, or you could lean over and bring the left forearm to the left thigh. Whichever of those options works best for you. I'm going to keep my hand on the chair. I'm going to lean a little to the left, long spine. And then from here, the right arm comes up and over the ear, palm faces down towards the floor. Head could turn in whatever direction is best serving your neck and your balance. Couple of deep breaths here. I'm going to turn so that I can put my right hand back onto the chair. I'm going to turn my torso to face the chair. And then I'm going to slowly step my right foot back in. And it might take a few steps to get the leg back in. We come back to mountain pose, lining up the feet, pressing down into the floor, and then lifting tall through your spine. Hands could stay on the back of the chair. Arms could be at your sides. A couple of breaths here. You can observe the weight as it shifts from foot to foot, from front to back, from side to side. You can soften anything that isn't necessary to be holding us up in this pose. So find some places to soften where other places will need to be energized to be standing in mountain pose. Another breath or two. I'm going to bring the hands back to the chair seat. And then stepping your left leg back a good fair distance. Left heel turns in slightly and presses down into the mat. Right toes might move a little bit forward. Lifting your torso and taking a breath here. And then bending the right knee, making sure that all feels really solid. Right foot could go a little bit to the right if that felt like it was going to be more stable. Right hand stays on the chair. Left arm is going to open up to a T shape. And so if you're watching, you'll see the other side of this pose. A couple of deep breaths. There's a bend in the right knee headed out towards the baby toe side of your foot. And if this all feels stable, you could lift the right arm and look out over the fingertips of the right hand. Couple of breaths here. Warrior two. Remember, we have a seated version of this pose. So anytime you want to switch back to that, please feel free to do so. Right hand comes back to the chair. It could stay there for the whole pose. You know you can always do that. Left hand comes to the left hip. We'll pause here for a moment. And then leaning right. Right hand could stay on the chair. Right hand could come down to the right thigh. Right forearm could come down to the right thigh. So whichever of those choices works best for you. We're leaning a little or a lot to the right. And then we're going to take the left arm up and over the ear. Palm faces down towards the floor. Getting a long stretch through your whole left side. Couple of breaths here. This is our extended side angle pose. Top arm comes back up to the T shape. Right arm can make the T shape too for warrior two. Both hands come back to the chair. Can start to step the back foot, the left foot steps in until we're able to safely step to mountain pose. Feet line up. Hands can rest on the chair. From there, lengthening up through your spine. Arms could also be at your sides. You can take a few slow breaths here, maybe even closing your eyes. Both hands firmly onto the back of the chair. Stepping one leg and then the other leg back to our downward facing dog. Stretching the hips back behind you, reaching the arms forward. Couple of breaths here. If you want to bring hands to the chair seat, you could take hands to the chair seat. Or if you do downward facing dog on the mat, you're welcome to bring your hands down to the floor. If not, no big deal. Another breath or two here. And then bending your knees, hands come to the back of the chair if they're not already there, and stepping slowly forward, returning to our mountain pose. Arms can sweep out to the side, breathe in. Exhale, arms come back down. A couple times just like that. Maybe one hand stays on the chair for balance while the other arm goes up and down. And then switching sides. A couple more. Raising and lowering of the arms. And arms rest at your sides or hands onto the chair back. Another couple of breaths in the stillness of mountain pose. From here, we're going to carefully move the chair back to its approximate beginning place. So we'll sit back down. A few finishing poses before we take our final relaxation. From here, we're going to stretch the legs out in front of us. Come towards the front of the chair. And hold on to the sides of the chair seat and extend the legs forward. We'll point the toes down towards the floor. And then we'll lift the toes up and reach out through the heels. And then point the toes down towards the floor. And lift the toes up and reach out through the heels. One more time, pointing the toes down. And then lifting the toes up and reaching out through the heels. We'll stay in that heel reaching, lengthening of the leg. Hold on to the back of, or the sides of the chair seat. And lean your torso a little bit forward. Test this out. Make sure that everything feels stable. You're sitting on the chair in a solid way. Chair is solid. And then if you like, you can bring the hands out to the fronts of the legs. Could slowly slide down a little bit more if the body will allow and if that feels steady and stable. Take another couple of breaths here. Head can bow slightly. And then we'll slide the hands back to hold on to the sides of the seat. Lift the heart, come slowly back upright. Bend one knee and then the other knee. And reseat yourself solidly on the chair. Hands can rest on the thighs. Eyes can close. Face slightly lifted. Imagine a headrest for the back of your head that you gently press the head back into. A couple of breaths here. From here, we'll move to our final relaxation. If you want to do any other stretches or anything that would help you to relax, please feel free to do that. You might move to a bed or a couch so that you can lie down comfortably, or if lying down on the floor works for you, that is also an option. Staying in the chair, we would lean back, move the seat back, and lean into the back of the chair. Legs could be relaxed and extended out in front of you, or maybe you have a pillow that you could slide underneath the backs of the legs so that the legs are slightly elevated. You could also move to your recliner chair as well. So taking a moment to consider what might be the most comfortable place for you to relax. We'll have a guided relaxation. You'll hear a little bit of sounds from the instruments, and then we'll have a moment to say goodbye. But if you have extra time to relax, feel free to let the recording finish and then you stay in your relaxed place. And so wherever you are, have a little fidget, a little movement, finding that most comfortable place. If it's comfortable, allow your eyes to close. And if not, eyes could stay open and looking softly at something off in the distance. Notice the rise and fall of your breath. Staying awake and aware of your surroundings. Feel what is underneath you, so what you might be sitting on or lying on. Feel the solid support that you get from those items. Imagine a soft and warm blanket being pulled over you, just to snuggle you in. And this blanket covers your feet first, and then it covers your lower legs, your upper legs. This blanket of relaxation comes up over your hips and belly, over your hands and fingers, your lower arms, your upper arms. And then this blanket of relaxation tucks right under your chin, Feeling the whole body relaxing, feeling the weight of our imaginary blanket. Maybe you've got a real blanket too. Letting the weight of that blanket ground you and keep you warm and cozy. We'll also invite this relaxation into our neck and throat, our face and jaw and eyes. Invitation for your whole body to relax. Invitation for you to let go and let go and let go. Breath can be soft and subtle like a whisper. Inviting and re-inviting your whole being to this place of rest. Take a couple of deeper breaths. You can yawn or sigh. And if you have that extra time, please feel free to stay right where you are and relax for as long as you are able. If you're moving on, begin to slowly bring yourself back to a seat. You can stretch and yawn and sigh along the way. Sitting solid wherever you are. Long spine, deep breath. Eyes can close. I'm going to rub the hands together again, get a good warmth going. One hand comes to the belly, the other to the center of the chest. Feel your breath, feel your body. Inviting in a sense of gratitude. Gratitude for breath and body. Gratitude for the practice of yoga. Gratitude for all of the teachers that have come before us. And hands could stay where they are. They could come to your lap. Hands could come to heart center. I'm just offering my gratitude to you. Thank you for practicing with me today. If you have any feedback, please let me know that you're out there. You can put a little note into the box or contact me otherwise. And these classes are lovingly offered by donation. So if you're able to donate, really appreciate that. Any amount works. And if you're not able to donate, no problem. Thanks so much and have a lovely rest of your day.